Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of Follow Suit, Fashion Unfiltered. Follow suit is a mantra, which means to follow the suit. And as you follow it, you're going to come to realize the suit is a role model and a mentor whose purpose is to give guidance to the young men of this community and as well as to society. And it is my goal to honor and salute some of the individuals who not only put on the suit, but they wear it well. Hence the point, my guest today. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Follow Suit, Fashion Unfiltered. It is my pleasure. I'm sitting alongside a distinguished guest, Anthony Robinson. Seymour, how you doing today?
What's going on, man?
Most you people already recognize the pretty face, and y'all call him Big Time. So this is Big Time for those who don't know. My man, Anthony Big Time Robinson. How's everything going?
Everything's good, man. No complaints. I feel like I'm living a dream.
Well, you know, I'm ecstatic to have you here. Appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come through so we can chop it up a little bit. This is Follow Suit, Fashion Unfiltered. We're going to talk a little fashion, then we're going to get into the spill of why we brought you here as well.
Okay.
So you came dressed the part, dressed to the T. So who inspired you with your fashion?
Oh, man. We just was mentioning one. You had the Charlie Johnsons, the Gilbert Whites. Mark Washington was one of my biggest inspirers. So just the way he put on clothes, like, you know, no Hollywood fashion, even though I like some of the way some people dress, but just me growing up, seeing older men put on some nice clothes, especially staying suited and booted is where it is. Yeah. And let me say, I'm ecstatic to be here. So I wanted to be here. I know the first time I had a little kerfuffle, but, you know, I wanted to be here because I love what you're doing, you and Gilbert. I love what you're doing.
Appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you. It means a lot to me. You know,
absolutely,
like I said,
man.
You're one of those guys that I look up to. I can see you a big brother.
Right,
you know,
thanks,
so.
man. That's what I'm talking about, brother.
You already know. We go way back. We can't tell all the stories.
No, we can't tell all the stories. Let's leave them buried.
Yeah, let's leave it buried.
Right.
So, do you prefer single-breasted, double-breasted, 2-button, 3-button?
No, I like them all.
Flavor?
I like them all. I like the double-breasted. I like the single-breasted. You know, this is probably like in for me right now. It's real easy, but I want to make sure I came here correct because I see y'all do it. I don't want to come in here and be embarrassed. Y'all be wearing some suits, brother.
I appreciate that.
Some nice suits.
All right, then. What about patterns or colors? Are you one for particular colors or patterns?
Before I used to be like a plain Jane type of dude. Now I'm kind of open to it, colors and everything. You know, I like some colors now. Some red, some real, some light blue. I'll go pink sometimes if I need to.
Right.
You know, whatever the occasion is.
Yeah, like I tell my kids sometime in the program, they see me with some pink. I tell them, real men wear pink.
Absolutely.
Don't forget that. I tell them all the time, don't forget that. Real men wear pink.
Know what you're doing, though. Gotta know what you're doing.
You gotta know what you're doing. Yeah. That's right. You ain't putting on no hot pink pants.
Don't make sure they ain't tight. No,
so what about shoes? You got on a nice pair of pretty shoes there.
Mezzalines.
Who put you onto your shoe game? Do you remember when you first went and brought your first pair of shoes?
Mom. My mom, she always liked the nice shoes. You know, she dressed us head to toe. When we was living in the Heat Street Project, you know, when Easter came, starting back to school, we was always like some of the best dressed kids that lived in the project. So yeah, Mom was big on shoes. So yeah, I give her all the credit in the world about shoes.
Yeah, shout out to Ma Dukes.
Yeah,
you know,
God rest
shout out to all the mothers who kept the young men fly back in the '60s.
Yeah, man.
I see the pictures.
Mom
we appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
All right, so the tie. Who taught you how to tie a tie? Do you remember how old you was when you started?
I was probably like 7, and my mother taught me.
Yeah.
My mother taught me. She sat there and taught me. I got it quick though, you know. I was a quick learner.
So we always bring that question up because part of me inspires me about doing the program with teaching the young men about dressing for success is when I started doing the podcast. Every time I brought somebody up, I would ask them about who taught them how to tie a tie, and probably got maybe 2 out of 20 who said the father, because the father's absent from the home. So
no, my father was there, but my mother.
No, I'm not saying you were, but I'm just saying ladies tie the best ties anyway. I'm gonna tell you that part anyway too. Yeah. Ladies do tie the best ties, but some of them is because
they have no male figure there. Or
Oh, yeah,
male figure
absolutely.
was the grandfather or
Absolutely.
the older brother, and it wasn't the father. So that was like, that sort of encouraged me that I knew I was sort of on the right path of what I was doing with trying to make sure that these young men, if they're not getting it, they're going to get it here with tying this tie.
No, you're absolutely right, because I've shown a lot of young men how to tie this tie. I think the power in the suit speaks for itself. It speaks. It's you can address anything with that suit on.
Right.
You know, people look for you. You got a suit on for an interview. Nah, you could own something wearing suits. You know,
Right.
You know, you just want to look fly. Wearing suits are powerful. You just, I walk in the room like I own it.
Yes,
I
sir.
think I own this right here, right
there
now.
You go. That's how we tell them.
Diego?
That's what we say. You know, you got to look the part and be the part.
Yeah, you got to be the part, I think. But most importantly, man, it tells a story about yourself. It tells you want to be clean. You want to be neat. You want to have a great day. That's what suits do for you.
That's right. Yes, it does. So now we're going to spin into Follow Suit. And the reason we got you on the podcast is because we're here to honor and salute those who have been mentors and father figures in our community for years, who've been putting in the work, and you are one of those men. So that's why I really got you here, brother, because I appreciate all the work you do. So let's talk about this organization and how long you've had this organization and what you do.
The organization called Youth in Crisis. About 25 years ago, we started this organization. I think I started in Norfolk Park. I know I did. Back then, they said that park was the worst park in the city of Boston. So me and my wife, we took refuge in that park. And, you know, just fast forward and things, you know, people's coming, you know, they had drugs, needles and the whole thing in that park. But if you go to that park today, there's a safe haven, people play in that park. But I think for me, it was like giving someone an opportunity and a platform to tell their origin stories. That's what Youth in Crisis was all about. And you hear young men tell their stories about, you know, refrigerators, no food inside of them, the sneakers, can't get them. But yeah, that's why, you know, a Youth in Crisis played a pivotal part back then in the trajectory of how that park was being run. So now it's a beautiful park.
Yes, it is. And then you put it together with basketball, so we're going to give you a little props on that too. You're one of the basketball Boston legends, high school ball players at the mighty E.
At the E, yeah. I swear I got the name big time, hitting the big shot. So, but yeah, basketball was a carrot, because I had all kinds of 20 to 30 resource tables there at the same time when we started Scoops and Hoops. Scoops and Hoops is like a train ride, pony ride, just a park filled with just magical things in it. But the basketball was a carrot, so we got to have a lot of young men come and partake on that particular day.
And how long, that's why I was going to bring that up next. You stole my question.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, talk about Scoops and Hoops and how long has that part of the program been going on?
That's been, we're coming up to our 25th year. I'm going to celebrate third week in July for just Youth in Crisis. But Scoops and Hoops was birthed by my other significant other one, Pam. She came up with that concept. And she said, babe, what about Scoops and Hoops? And I said, Scoops and Hoops? I said, this is getting ready to be a big thing. So what we did was magically got some ice cream vendors to come in and partake. Cold Stone was one of the biggest in JP Licks back then. That's been about 20 years ago. And it just, I mean, we went from, Chris Biden can attest to this, we went from like maybe 40 people, now today 3,000 people every time Scoops and Hoops. So it's tremendous. Since the inception of COVID, you know, it fell off a little bit, but I can remember being out there in the hot sun with Mayor Marty Walsh, and with 800 people, it was 102 degrees, but they still came out. But after COVID came, my last one was 3,500 people. Crazy, I love it. Scoops and Hoops is something to contest with.
Yeah. So where is your Youth in Crisis located at right now? How I got a kid who's in crisis. How I get them there? Where we bringing them?
We're bringing them to any community center. Well, it's a referral process for us. We call them. We're in Randolph now. We got we're in some of the community centers we do business with. You can bring them. There's a place for them.
So also in the city of Boston, all the community centers in the city of Boston are all connected with this program.
All connected. Been since Mayor Marty Walsh was in, been connected. Youth in Crisis is everywhere, even some of the YMCA's.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. You know, so you've been putting in a lot of work.
Yeah, you know, I think our young people, man, they are faced with a lot of social barriers, you know, and we need to have those platforms. Like follow suit is powerful. I love that to see them young men put on little boys put on suits.
Right.
The integrity of that is huge. I mean, when you think about it, you look at it, we all say it's cute, but at the same time, they're learning a process.
Yes, exactly.
You
so
know what I'm saying? How to adapt,
right.
how to conform,
so
how to be men.
Right, exactly. So that's why I tell them, I said, behind all the glitz and glamour, after we do all the glitz and glamour with them, then I say, now I'm going to tell you the real reason why you're sitting here in front of me.
Man, I'm sitting here just thinking, I really appreciate that, what you said about being a black father and a black leader in the community. So many of us. Shout out to all of them.
That's right. Shout out to them all.
And anybody has any type of resources, shout out to them as well, because, you know, we used to say in the city of Boston, there's not enough resources.
Right.
Now in the city of Boston, may be a resource at the corner of your street. We just got to educate people that resources are really in that 5 to 7 mile radius, and I'm talking about South End, Roxbury, Dorchester, Mattapan, Hyde Park. That's the 5 to 7 mile radius where it's needed. Resources are needed for our young black and our girls.
Yeah,
we all need resources. We fall off. Social barriers kill us.
Right. Not to cut you off, but I thought start about one more. What's the age group for youth with you all? Do you have an age limit up or down from the earliest to the oldest?
8 to 24.
8 to 24.
8 to 20, because we catch them in the middle schools now, so we want to catch them. You know, I put together events just for youth, so they, you know, I used to do curriculums. I might do one once a summertime, a 6-week program, but the really big thing is scoops and hoops. And all the resource tables, people gravitate. I got so many outcomes out of those resource tables with young people. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to definitely have to have my table there this year.
Definitely
I was busy with my full-time job for the last couple of years.
Think it's how you want to be showcased. I got you.
I got a little bit of more wiggle room with my new job, so
okay.
I'm
What's
definitely
your new job?
It. I'm at the library, the public library.
Okay.
So
okay.
I got a little more wiggle room now, so I can have follow suit, have scoops and hoops this summer, definitely.
Right.
So once again, this is Follow Suit Fashion Unfiltered. The purpose of the program is to honor, salute, and give flowers to those who've been putting the work in our community. I got my good friend here. I consider him a big brother. He's a husband. He's a father. He's a mentor. He's a coach. He covers all the bases. Anthony Robinson Seymour, a.k.a. Big Time.
You got it.
I appreciate you coming through one more time. Tell them your program.
Program's called Youth in Crisis, and Scoops and Hoops is the 3rd week in July of this year. Come up, you know, something for everybody. Even do a senior citizens concert every year now. That's how that thing has grown. I put a big stage out there just for our senior citizens, and the youth cater to them. So it's a big thing. I haven't decided what artist this year as of yet, but yeah, it's a big thing. So come out, come on.
All right. Appreciate you again for stopping through, taking time out of your busy schedule, man.
And you sharp.
I love you, big brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
You got it suited and booted.
Yeah, that's why I'm supposed to come, man.
All right. Once again, this is Follow Suit Fashion Unfiltered. We'll be back. Stay tuned.